everyone, Happy New Year! Welcome to a fresh start in 2020 for Leon Unity, your creative community by Leon Films. So I wanted to do a little look back and sneak peek of what's to come in 2020 from our productions and this channel. Let's start with some of the great stuff from last year and our biggest project, Sisters of House Black.
You will never see her again. If you do, you will meet the same fate.
Our family is the noble and most ancient house of Black. You will all contribute to carrying on a pure magical bloodline.
Do you think this dark wizard really exists?
I know he does. Rodolphus Lestrange is the one to talk to.
This has to stay between me. I need you to keep an open mind. You really shouldn't have betrayed me. Or our family.
The film took nearly a year and a half for us to produce and came out on October 30th, 2019. It's done extremely well online, having, as of the 5th of January, got on nearly 700,000 views, which is more than any project I've helped create in the past, including my life as a video game. The story is a Harry Potter-inspired fan film, as you can probably tell from the trailer. It's set during the years of the First Wizarding War and tells the story of the Sisters of House Black, Bellatrix Lestrange, Narcissa Malfoy, and Andromeda Tonks. It's quite a dark story, and Kelsey Ellison, who wrote it, did a fantastic job with it, as well as playing Bellatrix herself. Frankly, as good as Helena Bonham Carter did. In fact, in my personal opinion, she gave a depth to the character that just wasn't present in the books and movies, really adding some sympathy and some empathy. It gives the villains some needed dimension by having an empathetic look at their family, the choices, and the life they led before they fell. The feedback from everyone in both general and in the Harry Potter community has been incredible. I've made friends and memories on this film that will stay with me for a lifetime. So thank you to Kelsey, Hannah, Abby, Tom, Kaylee, Mackenzie, and everyone involved. Sisters of House Black was an incredible experience and one of the things I'll cherish for the rest of my life. Go watch the film now. It's live on YouTube and free. The link is in the description, or just go to bit.ly/SOHB film. In addition to that, we produced a number of shorts and adverts for various companies, such as Counterslice for Jean-Patrick Cookware, which was a whole lot of fun. It was basically this Counter-Strike/cooking mashup where the chef of a kitchen is cooking a meal in this very extremely overly dramatic Call of Duty style first-person shooter mashup. John Bailey, who you might know, who's done a few trailer voices for us, and he does the Honest trailers. He played the general who gave the chef his mission. He's also, I thought using him, given that he did XCOM, and doing that sort of performance would be great for this.
Lost a lot of good macaroons that day.
I told that souffle, don't you deflate on me. But there was nothing I could do.
Yeah, those were dark days.
Kelsey played the eager Susie the sous chef, a rookie chef working with the chef, who was played by Brian Forrest in voice, who you might know from shows like Man at Arms, Video Game High School, and he was actually the stunt coordinator and had a small role in My Life as a Video Game. You know, in retrospect, having seen how she acts with Sisters of House Black, I'm surprised we ever let Kelsey play with knives.
And let me see what you have! A knife! No!
The link to watch Counterslice is also in the description, as with anything we mention here today. And we also produced and directed a commercial for Field with Rain Dove. Now, Field is a dating app that has over 20 different genders and growing. It was a really fun commercial to do because I got to act in it myself, and we shot it at my local sort of pub restaurant around the corner from me. So it was a really easy and chill day for me, and I really enjoyed shooting that. That got over 250,000 views in just a couple of days, so that was quite a successful project. Actually, I was really proud of that. One of my favourite personal things from 2019 was actually shooting this commercial for the House of Spells. It's a shop that's opened in Leicester Square in central London, and it has all these kind of like Harry Potter and Game of Thrones and Vikings sort of paraphernalia. It's a lot of fun, very fantasy oriented. Again, I teamed up with Kelsey and fellow YouTuber Eiley Monty to create this commercial. I got to play with some pretty high-powered battery-operated LED lights by Aperture. I've got to be honest, they're absolutely fantastic, like really phenomenal. I'd used like the 120D before, which we used on this, but I got to use the 300D on this one, which is a 300 watt LED and has the power of like a 2K tungsten. Shooting it through these trees, we managed to create this awesome, mysterious style, like this burst of rays, creating this very eerie thing. So that really tickled the tech nerd in me. While we're on set for that, I actually came up with the idea for our first Minute Tip Monday, which you might have watched on this channel. It's gone back and forth on its style, but the general idea is to give a quick tip from on set within about a minute or so. It's on our YouTube channel, as well as Leon Unity lessons, which are now focused primarily on storytelling and screenwriting, but also will branch out like Minute Tip Monday does. These longer ones are about 10 to 15 minutes in length, generally speaking, and they cover a range of topics for young writers and storytellers to develop their craft. And 2 so far, which includes how to structure a great screenplay, and goes over a 3-act structure and breaks it down into 8 smaller sequences, which is actually what they teach at USC and New York Film Academy. And we've also done What Does a Film Producer Do?, which answers the age-old question of what the hell do we even do? It's everything. We do everything someone else isn't already doing. Later this month, we've got one all about writing your first draft, and I'm quite excited about this one because I think it's really important. So subscribe if you want to see more of that. Also, on a personal level, I acted in a project by Rain Dove called QUEERZ Without Fears. It was a really fun series to work on, and I play this kind of reoccurring villain who's a bit clueless, but keeps getting caught up in all the sort of scenarios, shenanigans of the protagonists. I'm really quite excited to be a part of that, really. And that's coming out on the 20th of January. And if you're watching after the 20th of January 2020, then the link to it will be down in the description. So I highly recommend you check that out as well. That is a lot of fun, and I think it's a really interesting, very surreal look at a kind of parody-esque thing. And of course, lastly, even though it wasn't in 2019, it was at the end of 2018, there's also our 2-part psychological horror short, Parallel Sins. It's set from 2 characters' perspectives in a time and mind-bending story. That was a project we literally made in 2 weeks, and I'm going to do a breakdown of that mammoth task soon and how we managed to go from writing it to shooting it to editing it to releasing it all within the space of 2 weeks. And also, it was a hell of a lot of fun to turn my brother, Dagis, into a giant monster of toxic masculinity and crack his skull open with makeup. Although getting chased by him with a giant sledgehammer was less than fun. Actually, no, it was really fun. And so looking forward into 2020, there are already quite a few projects in the works that I'm planning. On this channel, I want to get more of the Leon Unity lessons out this year, like 1 a month if I can. I think this channel has the potential to be a great resource for people who want to learn the ins and outs of creative storytelling. As Master Yoda said, pass on what you have learned. Maybe I'm not quite a Jedi, but I know a thing or two, and hopefully you can learn. I think what Leon Films was set up to do, though, is to tell stories. I am, above all, in my mind, a storyteller. Whether it's in writing or capturing it through a lens or portraying it on screen, I'm always trying to tell a story in a creative way. So that's what I think I can pass on to you guys, is creative storytelling in whatever fashion that comes in. We're going to produce, and I'm directing a short that's written by Andrew Hollingworth, who played Ted Tonks in Sisters of House Black. It's called Bump, and it's based on Andy's award-winning play that he's performed all around the world already. It's got a very frenetic and interesting style that I think people will like, and we're hopefully entering it into some film festivals. I think it'll be really interesting to direct because being based on a play, I've never adapted anything from the theatre before for the screen, so that should be a lot of fun. I'm also working on going back on some of my older writing. In addition to a book you may have seen if you follow me on Twitter, I've been talking about. A few years ago, I wrote a sci-fi screenplay called Red Sun, which won the Best Original Screenplay at the San Tropez Film Festival. I didn't really do anything with that afterwards, unfortunately, because I got so caught up in doing My Life as a Video Game. And that's something I'm trying to adapt right now into a graphic novel, and maybe my first feature film as a director. And so you're probably wondering, what is happening with My Life as a Video Game? Sorry, Brent, I didn't mean to fondle your face there. I'll just put you back. Honestly, I'm not sure. When I started this channel, it was to promote that series, but every which way I've tried to make it, it's always ended in a lot of heartbreak for me. It's a series that's very dear to my heart, and I hope one day I can return to it, but I have to look forward to new things for now. and I hope you understand that. But I hope that in the future I can return to it, maybe later this year, I don't know. We'll see. It really depends on how much this channel grows and if you guys want to see more of it. I'm also working on something right now, which is a little surprise that that Kelsey is has sort of like decided she wants to produce, and we're putting it together. It's going to be slightly inspired by this book, A Darker Shade of Magic. So look out for that in the future. Basically, we'll be putting it out, I think, on Kelsey's channel, and that should be fun. But we'll be helping produce it. So don't forget to follow us on Leon Films, on Leon Films, at Leon Films, to stay up to date, or just chat with us. Just go ahead and send us a message. I respond to pretty much everything on Twitter or Facebook, so I'm at Petros Sparta, the company is at Leon Films. But I genuinely like to know what you're interested in hearing from us for. What would you like to learn in the Leon Unity lessons? What kind of short film would you like to see us try and develop? I'm always trying to improve my craft in some fashion or another. If you like what you see and you want to see more of it, please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Consider it. Doesn't cost you anything. Give it a shot. Oh, I'm also on Twitch as well, which I'm hoping to start up again this year. So, check that out. It's going to be twitch.tv/Petros of Sparta. Although I'm thinking of starting an actual Leon Unity channel where myself and other people in the crew can sort of like all tune in anytime they want, basically, and work with each other on stuff. I've been trying to convince Kelsey to do a let's play of the old PlayStation Harry Potter games. But actually, I've been thinking about doing some live streaming of like editing and like creative on-set stuff, so that should be fun.